Hey book nerds, welcome to my channel. So today I thought I would do the NetGalley book tag. I'm taking part in galleyathon, which was a last minute decision. I didn't know this readathon existed, but I found it on Twitter. It's running, I think, for a week. I'll post a link to the Twitter down below. And it's hosted by Brooke from Brooke's Books and Connor from Connor's Library Corner. And on Connor's channel he did this NetGalley book tag and I thought it was a really fun video. And I have a lot of arcs at the moment. I won't say too many arcs, but I've got maybe like 100 unread ones, which is a lot. And this readathon was basically the perfect opportunity for me to get through some of these books, and the tag is just kind of related to that. So let's start. First question is author approved. Who's one author whose books you automatically want to read, regardless of what they're about? For this one, I would have to say there's two authors. First one is Christina Henry. She's a horror author. She's one of my favourite authors of all time. I've got a video exclusively about her that will be uploaded soon. I just need to edit it. And even she's written one book that's not horror that I know of. And I still really enjoyed that, but pretty much anything she writes I'm guaranteed to pick up. The second author is Holly Bourne, who is a contemporary author who deals with a lot of themes of mental health and kind of like recovering from bad relationships in her books. And I've not yet read all of her books that she's got published, but every single one that I have read I have loved, and I can see it being like an auto-buy for me from now on, just picking up all of her work. Next question is request. What makes you want to request a book on NetGalley? So this is a multi-step process. First one is cover. That's the thing that catches my eye. That is the thing that will make me select a book. And also the title. I actually put almost as much weight on the title as I do the cover, because I have clicked on books that I don't necessarily think they have the best covers, but I think their titles are really interesting, and a genre as well fits into that. I think on NetGalley there should be a feature, you know, when you request a book and you have to tick options that you like. I think titles should be one of those options, because half the time I request books because I really like their title. I don't know if other people do that. Let me know down in the comments if you've ever done that. But yeah, so those are kind of the initial things, and then obviously the description. The description sounds good if it's well written. There's quite a few on NetGalley that are not well written. They have like either grammar mistakes or they just don't really make much sense, and that'll put me off requesting a book. But the thing that kind of surpasses all of those things is who the author is. If it's an author I recognise and I love, then I will almost certainly request their book regardless of what it's about. Not always the case, but especially with thrillers, because I find it so hard to judge a thriller based off its description and cover, that if I know it's an author I can trust, then I'm more likely to request it. The next prompt is feedback ratio. Do you review every book you read? If not, how do you decide which books to review? So for NetGalley, yes, I review every book that I have requested. Annoyingly, there's one exception. When I first got NetGalley, which I think was over a year ago now, almost 2 years maybe, I clicked like I will not read this book because I didn't think I could read it in time, and I thought that's how it worked, and I realised it doesn't, which means I can never ever hit 100%. Not that I'd hit 100% anyway, but I can't hit 100% reviews because there is one book that I said I would not review. But I actually have a process with NetGalley books. So with NetGalley books, if I didn't like it, I will usually just post the review on NetGalley, unless it did something unless the reason I didn't like it is because it was problematic in some way, or if it's a super popular book, shall we say, or super well-known book, then I will also post the negative review on Goodreads. But usually, because a lot of the books I request tend to be either new authors or more independent publishers, particularly with the horror stuff that I request, I'd feel bad if I just didn't like the book, if it just wasn't to my tastes. So I will review it on NetGalley, but I won't post those reviews anywhere else. Whereas if it's a positive review, or even like, you know, like a 3-star review, I will post that on all of the review sites, because that's why I like to use NetGalley. And also it feels like that's the reason you get arcs, so you should review them. I mean, like I said, it's fine if you don't want to review them, I guess, but from my point of view, that's how I feel about it. But if it's not NetGalley books, then no, I do not review every book I read. I usually talk about every single book I read in this channel now, but I don't review them all on Goodreads because I read too many. The next question is badges. If you could create your own badge to display on your blog, what would it be for? So with NetGalley, I actually thought about this, and I think they should have genre badges. I think that would be really cool to have, like, I don't know how, the genre ones would be pretty easy. So it's like if you review, I don't know, 25 thriller books, you get like a nice little thriller badge. And then you get like the bronze and the silver and the gold. You could do that for all the genres, and then it lets publishers know at a glance what you're actually reading and what you're actually reviewing. I think that would be a really cool idea. I also think that'd be nice to have like rep badges to try and encourage more own voices reviews. It's something like I try to list it on my profile, and I usually get approved for the stuff that so for example, like I'm queer, I'm demisexual, so I've put that on my profile. My partner is trans, I've put that on my profile, and I usually get approved for queer books or books about being trans or that kind of thing. But I think if it was a badge, it'd be a lot clearer. And obviously I've seen a lot of people saying on Twitter that they can't get approved for books that they would like to review because it feels so personal to them. I think the badges might be a good way to symbolise that. And the final question is wish for it. What's one book you're absolutely dying to read? I have so many books I am dying to read. So my Goodreads TBR is like 1,200 books at the moment, which is insane. One arc I really wanted was Loveless by Alice Oseman. I got rejected sadly, which is fair enough because my review percentage at the moment is around 48%. So I was very, very sad about that, but I understand. There's a couple of books that aren't arcs that I really want to get to. I feel like I should keep it arc themed. So in general, I am actually super excited about most of the arcs I request. There's maybe like a quarter of them that I request and then I'm kind of like, oh, why did I request that? That was a bit, I'm not super excited about. But yeah, Loveless was the big one that I can think of that I really wanted to read. And also Harrow Lake, I think that's what it's called. I've not been rejected or approved for that yet, but that's a horror book and it's being released in October and it sounds like it's going to be amazing and I really, really want that book. So I'll say those two for now. And I think this is the final question. It is, what was the last book you received as an ARC that you reviewed? So I just finished reading For Galleyathon, Just the Two of Us by Jo Wilde, which is a romance, which isn't my usual genre at all. But it caught my eye because it's a romance about a woman who is basically about to divorce her husband. And then lockdown happens and she gets stuck with him. And it's actually a really, really easy read. I gave it 3 stars. Like I said, romance isn't my genre. I think if it is your genre, if you kind of read chick lit type romance, you'll really like it a lot more than I did. But the characters were really solid. It's very fluffy, and by which I mean it's a very easy read. Like I said, even though it's set during quarantine, it doesn't really talk about the actual darker elements of this whole coronavirus thing, which I actually appreciated because I did not want to read about that right now. So yeah, it's just a nice themed chick lit book. And yeah, I will link my blog review down below because I think that just went up this morning. So yeah, I think that's the whole tag. That is the whole tag. I will link Connor's video down below, so go watch that if you haven't watched it. Yeah, because he's really entertaining actually. I've not watched him or Brooke before and I started watching both of them and I really like them both. So that's good. It's a good readathon when I get to find new channels. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. It helps me out massively. Let me know if you're taking part in Galleyathon or what arcs you're excited about, all that kind of stuff. And I hope to see you next time.